So welcome you guys to tonight's Sunday call. My name's Casey. I'm going to be your host tonight. And you can also play around with the Zoom, you guys, if you want to see the whole screen, if you want to just see a little bit or make the active speaker big for you, whatever it is that you want to see. I like to have just a couple of people that I see, and I'm also going to be showing my screen and showing you guys some stuff. So I'm going to keep that large for me. And I know it is Halloween weekend. So, a lot has been going on. I've been seeing a ton of photos. So that's always fun. And just, every time that we show up for something, it's just so important to stay plugged in. And on my screen right here, I do have what I just wanted to touch on, just a few things that I'm going to go over just so all of us can be, successful. This is our, we go over inspiration on a Sunday night call. We go over, a little bit of business training, celebrations are always, if you need, towards the end, if you have just somebody that, is just really showing some excellence and you want to shout it out, go ahead and shout it out. And for those of you who don't know my story, I've been doing Isagenix for a little over 4 years. I was a registered nurse and I caught the opportunity after I'd been a product user for a while. And I really caught the opportunity, not like just a little bit on the, maybe I can make a little bit of extra money or it's going to be some side thing. Like I saw this as a way to create income like I never knew possible. And, not with that huge amount of investment that I did when I went to nursing school too. Like I really caught it to where I couldn't sleep at night, to where I was every single moment, every single waking second that I wasn't at work, like I was going to be building Isagenix, and I took out a credit card, put money that I didn't have to go to events and do some things because I wanted to bring my husband home, and he was deployed. And so, that was a really burning why for me. And I know some of us here, we don't have the option. It's like, we got to make money, like our family, in order to pay bills, put food on the table, like that's where it is. So, all of us are in so many different places when we start Isagenix. And I just wanted to touch on this for a second, and to go along with the inspiration, because, think about like, what is your why? Like what has you here right now on a Sunday night? I can't keep track of what days it are. I've always say shoot for a career where you don't know which day it is. So you don't have to know that Monday through Friday clock. But you're here for some reason and tapping into that. And it is so about, I saw another post where it says sometimes in the beginning it is about the money in network marketing, right? Where it's that money that's going to provide something for you and for your family. For me, it started very organically, just wanting to share the products with people and how they had blessed me, and just watching children die, every day from cancer, or be sick every day from cancer. Like I knew that nutrition and environmental toxins and all of that was a massive role playing into that. And I really believed in what Isagenix offered as a solution for people, just as an easy way access for nutrition, right? That's how it started for me. So just really tap into that though, and use that to fuel you. And I had somebody say that if personal development is not for you, I invite you to find something else to do. And when he said that, when Mike Sims said that, and I was like, that's pretty bold, but it's so true. It's because we have to grow into this person. And I don't know if you guys know, but people who win the lottery, 98%, 97% is the statistic that I read, people who win the lottery are in more debt after they win the lottery in a couple years than they were prior to winning. So it's about growing into that person that we deserve, to start attracting this income that, Isagenix can be, and maybe the income isn't why you're here. Maybe it's for, just something that drives you and you're passionate about helping people. Just get the nutrition in your body. We have to hone in on that. But I want to ask everybody, this formula for success was given to us from stage at ICU by Michael Klaus, who's been in the industry forever. But I think this is a beautiful formula about reading 30 minutes a day about your company's or product, about listening for 30 minutes a day to Isagenix podcast. And what's so great about Isagenix podcast is that, and for some reason, if you can't read and you have to do an hour of listening, then we got to do an hour of listening, right? But we all have time where, I've joked before where I say, you can build this business on the toilet. Like I have built some of my business on a toilet, literally, right? Throughout nursing, throughout coming home, studying, it can be done because every single time that we're learning, it's so important because when we come into this, we don't know anything. And I think that there's a misconception if I've ever made anybody feel like this, I hope that, you come to me and tell it. In the beginning, I used to, because this is how I was kind of thinking, oh, let's enroll a couple people, go through my friends and family. And if people don't all jump in, then maybe it's not going to work. Or, oh, I don't have a large enough network. Or, oh, just enroll a couple people and you'll have your products paid for, forever. And no, it's not that. It does take a lot of due diligence, a lot of persistence, and to treat it like a career, to really see the return on investment, where you see people that are walking across the stage, or you see people that are traveling and living this, lifestyle. A lot of times, so that's what we see, portrayed on the computers, on Facebook, about this lifestyle. But in the end of the day, I mean, it really is, your income producing activities, that AIC, ass in chair, as Jeffrey Combs says, that gets to create that type of leverage and that income. And so just really a question that we can always ask ourselves personally: how much would I pay me if I was Isagenix, right? If I was Jim and Kathy, how much would I have paid me today based on the work that I have done in Isagenix? And write that figure down. Think about if you were the one in charge, right, of making this company successful and really rewarding top industry, top leaders, people who go out there, they get uncomfortable every day. How much would you be paying you? That's a question. Would I be excited that I enrolled me today? That's another great question, based on like my actions that I performed. And, this is something too, that you can do. Again, Isagenix podcast, and we'll post this. This is in all the groups. I know that we've posted it. And if you're like me though, when you're like on all this material everywhere, right? You want to learn everything because there's so much to do. But I love spending more time on less material. I think that that's really powerful to kind of master one thing. An example would be, okay, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's LinkedIn, there's all these things. Well, golly, if I hardly know Facebook, I don't need to be going over to LinkedIn yet, right? If that's something. So don't let yourself get overwhelmed. You can really spend time on less material for yourself and get really good. And then events, I'll go till I'm blue in the face every single day about events. But I want to show you guys, I have pulled up my back office from this one's going to start in July and go. And I want to just kind of show, like, why should I treat this as a stone cold profession? You can always go to isagenixevents.com. This is not saying get in. This is what you're going to earn. You guys, I spent every single waking moment building Isagenix. I remember being so stressed out, breaking down, crying multiple times throughout my initial Isagenix journey, thinking that there's no way that I can do this, that people don't get it. People are, maybe they're, doing a return, or they're dropping off. Or I don't know if you guys have ever had anybody go into the witness protection program where they say they're going to do all these things and then don't hear from them, right? Or it's like, gosh, well, if I could just get my people to get it, like, just come on, I just want my people to get it. Like, why can't they see what I see? But it doesn't matter if they see what you see right now, because people will come along who see what you see. And, in the beginning, there's tons of bonuses and upfront money to get us started, to get us excited, to help get your people paid. But at the end of the day, this represents what? People putting incredible products in their body. And the more people we help become optimally healthy by putting this nutrition in their body, the more income we make. This isn't about getting in and just enrolling people, rank advancing through that way. It's about truly blessing people with nutrition, and that's how the money comes in. And the more people we can educate how to do that, the larger our tree and influence is going to become. And so, this is geometric progression. And right here you can see, right, it took me an entire year in Isagenix to get to what my nursing career was, right? I earned $3,000 a month in nursing. I went to school for 6 years, spent tens of thousands of dollars, had to show up in attendance to pass the class, had to pass the test, had to buy the books, had to do clinicals, show up in clinicals at 6 a.m. in the morning. I remember almost passing out in someone's lap in her hoo-ha the first time I had to insert a plastic device inside someone, right? So you think about all those things that I went to, and here I am, right? Not really being able to get more than $3,000 a month. I was capped at that. And I went through all of that. But yet for some reason, network marketing, Isagenix, it isn't supposed to apply to those same types of rules that apply to every other business model, every other investment that people make, the time, the energy, the money that people have to invest. That I was doing that. I was putting the money on the credit cards for the events. I was buying the books. I was doing anything because I got these numbers. And, how does somebody give themselves a raise from $3,000, right? Making that it took me a year to get there, with, again, nobody's going to call you to do anything in this business either. Nobody's going to say, hey, what have you done today? Come on, because you're your own boss, right? We have to lead ourselves before we can lead anybody else. And, then I get to, and this is when I really got into personal development right here. Let me just say that this is when personal development really hit home for me. Then I got to $10,000 a month, right? Over $10,000 a month. Now that being in, a 2-year time frame in this business. But again, guys, it wasn't me just being in this business for 2 years. It was me being all into this business in 2 years. There is a big, big difference between casually sharing and building a business when it's convenient and building it no matter what it takes. I was getting up in the middle of the day, to do phone calls. I was missing out on sleep. I, completely turned off the TV. I wasn't watching any more TV. I mean, I immersed myself into doing Isagenix and getting around top leaders at events and watching what they were doing, seeing what they were doing. I wanted to know what they were doing because I was willing to do anything. And you guys, this is what's possible. And money has never excited me. Well, money excites me. Let me say things don't excite me. New cars don't excite me. I'm still driving my same Camry that I was driving. I'm going to be driving that Camry until it kicks the bucket, right? Big flashy things don't excite me. Now, I do love travel and I love experience, and I love the fact that my husband can retire any day he wants, and if I don't ever have to go through another deployment, right? That is what excites me. So you have to decide. I love being able to write a check to a charity without even blinking an eye, right? Animals and kids, they excite me. I love being able to take this and donate as much as I want to that. So you have to think, you guys, this is what's possible if we treat it like an organization and we put the work in. And I think there's a misconception that this doesn't take an insane amount of work to have these kind of numbers. It does. Now, these don't have to be your numbers, right? It doesn't have to be. Maybe it's just an extra $500 for you and your family, and that's it. But when I saw this compensation plan and I understood, right, return on investment, are we willing to do the things today that other people are not willing to do so that we can live life and have what others cannot have tomorrow? Because that's what this is. Whenever, I don't know if you guys have seen that Will Smith video, but when people were out partying, I was learning how to build Isagenix. When people were sleeping, I was up building Isagenix, right? I totally immersed myself in it, and it just pays off. And I see myself with people who kind of started maybe at the exact same time. And when I say start, I mean really starting to build the business, but maybe some differences and some incongruencies. What we say is one thing, what we do is another. And what we do is really let what you've been doing, and I always say that to myself, let what I've been doing really show me how committed I am to something, because it's my actions that are really letting me know, not what I say, right? It's always my actions. And when I understood return on investment, and you can replace, this, if money's not it for you, you can replace freedom, time, whatever it is that you want to do for you. But this is the reality right here, that our compensation plan, and I invite everybody to know that A through E, know the associate to the executive. Our compensation plan, you guys, is the same thing as this penny. It's geometric. Now, are some people going to come in and stop and, don't get attached to anybody that we ever enroll. Don't have expectations for someone. Have expectations for yourself. What other people do is not dependent upon your success. Because when we're committed, we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep introducing new people, keep loving people, keep blessing people with the gift of health. Then when we find someone that wants to go from a product user to a sharer, we're going to help them do that. Then we want to find a sharer that moves over to business builder. We're going to help them do that. Then when we find somebody that wants to go from a business builder to a massive successful organization, we're going to help them do that, right? It's step by step, but that one little penny that multiplies just like our organization and comp plan, because there are no levels. You guys, so it's like I guess I just wish that everybody could really, see what this is and treat it like the profession that it deserves to be treated. But it's okay. The beautiful thing about this is is that it can be part-time. But if we're part-time and in we're spare time, let's have part-time and spare time expectations and be real with ourselves and be reasonable and not letting ourselves go into this dip. Well, it's not happening fast enough. Well, realistically though, how much time are we putting into it? We see successful millionaires, billionaires, right? You think about like, how do they show up and the amount of work and energy and effort and all that they had to put in to get that return on investment, because we deserve to have those realistic expectations, but yet shoot for the sky based on what it is. And I was doing a Zoom call earlier today with Shanna, and she was talking about, but they are building currently now a full-time income in their part-time, but they have been doing it for a while, and they've been very due diligent and very consistent. Consistent is the key word. Consistent with that, and when I talk about consistency, and I think about day-to-day action, are we with our product pages, are we adding value every single day to our product pages? Are we consistently connecting with new people every single day? So then we have people at the end of the day, the most successful people are going to be the people who talk to the most people, get the most information out in the shortest amount of time. Because that does what? That increases our ratio. There's also something called passive and then active work in this. I consider passive posting on Facebook, that 10-4-1 that we're all doing. And if we don't know 10-4-1, I invite everyone to be very familiar with the learntogopro.com site. Let me make this a little smaller. There we go. The learntogopro.com. The first training takes you through your why. And maybe we can do a series where we kind of, go through all this. It takes you through your why, your new associate interview, your list. Guys, did you know you can print off your Facebook list and have a working list? If we don't have a written down list, we have a hobby, right? Eric Worre talks about when you don't have a written down list, you're a poser. I was a poser for a really long time in network marketing. I feel like I was doing a lot of action, but I wasn't doing some of the massive skill set. An organization is not my forte. I don't know if you guys saw my suitcase post on Facebook, but a lot of my life can look like that at a lot of times with my organization. Thankfully, my office is now like the one thing that I focus on that I always keep organized. But you can print that off and you can really get organized with that. And so I just really do, I invite you to really take time to do that and have your list. But with this right here, to like take time, understand these things, understand all of these things. And I'll make sure that one's, I just updated it. They must've just taken it off again, but sharing your story, you guys, it's all right here. But this right here is something that I really want to focus on, for everyone, because if we're just doing 10-4-1, and if you don't know what 10-4-1 is when I say it, we so deserve to be doing 10-4-1, because that's when we're just putting that out there. But that's very passive, right? So are we just sitting and waiting for people to come to us based on us just putting out there? Or are we going into people's inboxes? And I will say right here and right now, that is something that I did day in and day out. And I was working with Chris the other day, and we were sitting at the computer, and I was showing her some stuff, and I was like, girl, this is what I did. I'm telling you, 10 hours a day. If I wasn't working, it was 10 hours a day, connecting, messaging, reaching out, being in groups. And my husband was sitting there like, yep, that's all she did. Like, honest to God, like, that's it. That's all she did. And I'll say this, my husband didn't have a full-time wife for a while, right? For a while, but I set him down and I had a talk. I said, I'm doing this. The dishes aren't going to be done. You're not seeing the laundry done. Like, those things are not going to be happening because I'm building this business, right? So there is that, and it's okay, I think, to be unbalanced in certain aspects for small periods of time while you're gaining momentum in something. But then too, this is about finding people. You guys, we got to master that. And if you're doing that, if you're, excellent at 10-4-1, if you're going in and you're adding people every single day, you're adding value to the groups, you're adding, your content, and then you're adding people and you're reaching out and you're actively sharing the story every single day. Like, that is what it takes. But just be gentle with yourself and be kind with yourself, but be honest with yourself. And I feel bad when I haven't, I guess, maybe laid that out, and people, they might be a little frustrated or they think that it's not going fast enough. But you guys, we got to have realistic, yet again, stretch. All things are possible. And you see people come in that, skyrocket, but at the end of the day, they probably already had a massive network, or they've had some history, they've put in the time somewhere. And so ask yourself that every single day, write that down. Ask yourself, how much would I pay me today if I was Jim and Kathy Coover, knowing what I have done to have results, to coach people, to add value into people's lives for Isagenix? Or, you know what I'm saying? That is such a great, honest question. And it's not about doing this perfect. I can tell you, I still have my days. I still cry. I get overwhelmed. I put too much on my plate. I think, what have I gotten myself into? But that's okay. And, sometimes I do just want to break down and shut down and not do anything. And I did. I just, got through having a cold. My body just shut down, but it didn't matter. Like, I was up, I was still on the computer, blowing my snot rags, like working, but at the end of the day, like, that's what it is. This business buys me freedom to where when I feel like that, I don't have to go work for 12 or 14 hours or go get a doctor's note and be, oh my gosh, well, if I take this time off, then I won't be able to get that time off and go on vacation with my family. I'm using one of my days, right? That's the freedom that it's buying us from. We still have to show up for ourselves and treat it like, a business. And we're going to start doing a lot more series on the Sunday night calls with kind of skill sets and, the 90-day game plan for everybody who did that, but just more of, the basics and really just utilizing Isagenix business and Learn to Go Pro and the basics of the IPAs. But it does, you guys, it just starts with having the belief. Have the belief and know that if it's possible for anybody. Something that I love that Lynn Hagedorn said is she went to ISA FYI. So maybe write this down, ISA FYI. And she went to recognition. She went to recognition and ISA FYI. And she printed, and you don't have to print if you want to save paper. She read every single success story that Isagenix had. And I can tell you, reading success stories, when I've been doing calls lately and I've been connecting with people or I've been meeting someone, what's so awesome about those stories is that's a tool for us. That's a tool for us that we get to use when I speak to someone that tells me that they're a bar owner or a restaurant owner, and I know about restaurant successes or about moms or about teachers, and I've read those, or gym owners, and I know, oh yeah, that success story, that one, go type it in the search button, bam, send it to them as a link. You remind me of this story, and we're those little glimpses of hope for someone. Same thing on the product, right? Same thing for product, about somebody just looking to lose that 60 pounds. I know somebody that struggled like that. Let me share a success story with you, because it's not about us, right? It's about the stories that we share and the connections. But I wanted to just open this up. I'll be back with you guys next Sunday. I'll be doing a call from the Cayman. See, now there's a thing, right? I got to show up and do a Sunday call, but doing it from the Cayman Islands, right? Not so bad. We kind of have that freedom, right? Still working, but what kind of work is it really, right? I get to see so many of my favorite faces. So yeah, I would love if anybody has a question where you can raise your hand. I don't know if you guys can go on the bottom and click participants and raise your hand if you guys see that. And I would love to answer. There's some chat, or you can put your chat in the thing. The opportunity is there. Yes, it is. And I'll just touch too on the events that are coming up. There's UIA in Charlotte. David Woods. First off, if I wasn't a married woman, that would be someone that I would just love to watch and look at all day long. And not even because I'm physically attracted to the man. It is because what comes out of his mouth is so absolutely epic. He is just, I've listened to every single one of his CDs. He is just powerful. He is a consultant for Isagenix. He's kind of the trainer of trainers. He is going to be down in Charlotte November 4th through 6th. It doesn't start until like 6 p.m. that Friday night. So for people who really just need weekends, that's a great event, because it is just weekends, right? It's not during the week. And so, if you think about, all right, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday it's over. You can even drive back that night. That is an event that I would just recommend for anybody to go to. It's truly incredible. Then we have the ICU coming up in Phoenix. All of these are on isagenixevents.com, the ICU in Phoenix. Then we also have a GoPro for anybody, you guys going to GoPro. I know too, if you've bought a ticket, already have one ticket, we're kind of running, specials for people if you've already got one ticket too. Message us if you have friends or somebody that you want to go with you or teammates. But that is, Tony Robbins is going to be there. We also have Richard Branson, just so to really just tap in and learn from that. And then just top industry leaders across the industry. Those have been my favorite events. It's just, you can't even express what a GoPro event is. I mean, it's absolutely epic. So that's what's coming up. We all know about NYK already coming up too. So, but does anybody have any questions about kind of that, or maybe the Learn to Go Pro, or maybe adding value to your product pages or anything like that? If no, then we're all absolute rock solid stars. It's true, we all are. We're all on here showing up. You look like you're losing weight, Mr. Jordan. I can see it from, I see that. I saw a thing. I was like, whoa, you got skinnier from two minutes ago. Must be on a cleanse day. All right, does anybody have anybody they want to celebrate? I would love to celebrate you, Jordan. Not only are you rocking the products, man, I know, that I've seen you on that Isopulse going bam, bam, bam. Joe and Shanna, I don't know. I think you guys just enrolled like 6 people in the last 3 days. So, I mean, that consistency, I know, you talk about doing that in your part-time, that consistency. Yeah, we have product pages. Yes. So whatever page that you're in. So yeah, HIA would be a product page. Yes. So we have our product pages where we add people that are kind of curious or taking a look. And then we have our business pages where we share trainings like this happening, where we share, events, where we share about, kind of get up, make it happen no matter how you feel. It's a consistency. We share about that and then how we kind of use our product pages, but then we have just a product page. So does anybody want to share anything?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
For anybody that we have that's interested in building a business, what is like your number one or number two thing that we should definitely share with them to get them to see the vision, the why, get them?
Somebody is interested in building a business, the first and foremost thing that I love to do is a call with somebody else that has built the business, because it's that connection of, oh my gosh, other people are doing it, the community, that you're not alone. So that's the first and foremost thing that I love to do, is to do a call with somebody who has a great business story. And it doesn't have to be this crazy, insane business story. It can be adding an additional, $2,000 to your family, $500 to your family. But, that's something that also has to do with that new associate interview though. Because what I like to do is when you go through that new associate interview and you know exactly like what their goals are, be it if it is, in their first, 90 days, then their, first 6 months, their first year, 3 years, it has kind of all of that pinpoint. And so based on their goals, that can also really let you know, okay, who is somebody that would be a great call person for them. I don't like them to fill out kind of the new associate interview though, until they have an idea of what's possible. So I like to send them, I don't know, maybe I'm biased. I love to send one of the things that we've done as a team. One of my favorite ones that's going around right now is the one that I was on, Gerald, Amanda, Katie Newbaum, and Jennifer Trinkner, that kind of just shares individual stories, shows what's possible. I love that one, so that they can say, okay, I can dream a little bit here. Like I can far-fetch it, but it also, they put down on there, what are realistically, how many hours can you work? What's your commitment level? It also talks about what's the next event that you could go to, So when and bottom line is people who want to build this business have to go to events. I mean, we have to get to at least minimum 1, 2, core events like a year. You know what I'm saying? So like knowing, okay, which core event can we get to? And the core event being NYKO, Celebration, ICU, or University in Action. Those being the core four. Now, you know, people that have shot really fast, you'll see people who shoot really fast, even that don't have an experience in the industry, like O'Malley, you know, Tracy O'Malley, who went 9-star in 2 years. She committed to not missing a core event for her 2 years. Like she was at every single core event that Isagenix had. Some of us have kids, don't have that schedule. You know, her kids were a little bit older, but so still it's like finding out, okay, which core event. And so that new associate interview, you guys, we cannot not be doing the new associate interview. When somebody says they want to build a business, it has to be one of the number one priorities that you do for them, because it's going to allow you to see what's their goals. And I don't know if you guys, I used to be so guilty of my goals being their goals. Like, well, you need to want to build this business. You don't want to retire. Some people can't even think that far, or, you know, they want to, they like their job. They don't want to leave their job. You know, I was sick of the politics and all that. Like I was ready to get on there. That might not be them. And so we're talking about that. So really knowing what it is for them. Right. So new associate interview, connecting, making sure that they're plugged in, you know, for sure, making sure that they're plugged in, and just that community though of knowing other people. I mean, those are definitely my favorite things. But you guys, I'll do anything to get to people, have them at events. Anything. Like I am blue in the face. If you're on my team, you know, you probably get messages, when's the event? Come on, let's go. You got somebody harping on your butt, like, yeah, let's go to an event. Let's go to an event. Let's go to an event. You're like, oh my gosh, stop it already. Like when somebody wants to build this business, it's my job to really, really let them know the importance of getting to an event. But until that does happen, it's all the steps before then of just, you know, and sometimes it's okay spoon feeding people. It's okay to spoon feed them what to post first on their page. It's okay to spoon feed them about, this is exactly what I would post, type it up for them, send them the picture to post. This is your very first post, right? It's okay to spoon feed them, you know, send them the exact message of how to have your settings on Facebook. Take the time to work with them and one of the persons that they've taught to know how to do a three-way message. You know, it's always great too, Shanna, to gauge where their knowledge of social media and Facebook is, because sometimes we can say, hey, yeah, do this, do that. And somebody's like, yep, got it done. But other times we can tell people to do that and they don't, you know, it's a very like, and so then they're not doing it, not because they don't want to, they just might not know how. And so, you know, evaluating that too, and everybody's going to kind of be at different learning curves, you know, with the social media. But knowing their goals, new associate interview, and connection. Those are the first things. And then spoon feeding how to get started making a post, transitioning into the product page, and connecting with the third party. That was a great question. What other questions? Yeah. Love the smiles. All right. Adding value, new info. Yes, I'm not sure who NTURE-000. Who is that? I don't see face with that one. Oh wait, hold on. Is there a face there? I don't see. It's dark. Missy, hi Missy. Yeah, adding value. So you think about when we're posting in the groups, if we're not adding, you know, value to it, or we're adding people into the group, but then we're not constantly every single day, like putting those value posts in there, people might not be seeing it. And so we think, well, gosh, I've added, you know, 15, 20 people to the group. Nobody's messaging me back. If we're not posting in those groups, the way that the algorithm shows up and the way that the notifications are, they're not going to see Casey Pluff posted in the Have It All Dream Team and all those things going down in there, right? They're not going to be seeing that, or whatever your product page is, right? They're not going to be seeing that. So it's really taking that time. Like you want to see, okay, Missy posted about how you're feeling today based on, you know, doing your vitamins, your Ionics, kind of your routine on how you go. Oh, like Missy posted in her product page brings you back to it. So that's going to bring you back, like bring the people that you've added back to seeing that. And two, we just want to make sure that we're always adding value. I mean, you're not always sure what you should be posting, you can always just kind of gauge based on what other people are posting. You can always, anything on isagenixhealth.net is great that you can take over there, how you currently, use the products, any great recipes, all of those things. You can also just kind of, lifestyle post of what it is, why you love the support. And we can go through some of that for sure. When do you bring up on the opportunity first call? How do you bring it up? I mean, first of all, I first start with accountability before I even talk about opportunity, especially if somebody's really reaching out for product. I first start with accountability. I want you to be most successful. Like statistics show, when you have accountability partners, you're far more successful. Are you open to some accountability? Because I would love to help you get some accountability. If they say yes, that opens the door right there for them to be posting, putting it out there, sharing, right? When we have to talk about accountability. And then we can take it to, that's so awesome. What's cool is that not only are you going to have accountability and be successful, it's going to be fun because we're going to be able to get some referral bonuses too. Like, I don't know about you, but I love it when, I get some referral bonuses from places, or I get to eat some free food or some coupons, or, that excites me. Does that excite you? Yeah, it excites people. That's awesome. You get referral bonuses when you help other people, so you're having accountability, everything. And then you can kind of just share a little, snippet. If you're someone who has a success story, you can share a little bit of that and just, drip it. I'm morally obligated to kind of, tell you about X, Y, and Z bonuses. I wasn't really interested at all. Don't feel obligated by any means. We're going to focus on your accountability. That's the main thing. We get you healthy. Can get you some free products. It just really depends on kind of where that person is. Now, sometimes it's all about the opportunity, like immediately, so it's, would you want to get some of your products paid for? Yeah, that'd be great. No, I'm not interested at all. All right. Like, okay, that conversation is done. I'm going to focus on their product. Yeah. I'd love to get my products paid for. Great. Would an extra $500 help you and your family every month? What would you do with that? Would that take some burden off of you? Yeah, it would. Awesome. Let me kind of, share this with you. If you're someone who's not doing it yet, then you can easily share, this is why I am doing this, is because this has the opportunity to have an extra $500,000, $2,000 a month. That is what I'm working for. I'd love to work with you with it too. We have great mentors. Bam, connecting with somebody who is doing it if that's not you yet. You mentioned that you were in people's inboxes. What did you post there? How did you get to sharing Isagenix in that message? And did that answer, Terry? Wait for a yes and keep moving. I think that was good. Yeah, as far as with inboxes. So, and in addition would be, are we just making posts on our pages and then expecting like people to always come to us? Or are we taking that initiative to get active? First off, you can always compliment somebody when you inbox them. For Halloween, it's a perfect time. I've already been liking and commenting into people's inboxes that are not currently in my Isagenix business. One girl's, her shoes, they were these rainbow shoes. I freaking loved them. It's like, oh my gosh, I love your shoes. Liked it on her picture, messaged it on her page, and I'm in her inbox and I complimented her. How are you? How have you been doing? Where was that event? And then you can set the attention. I couldn't help but notice you're always out. You like to have fun and you like to travel. Do you keep your options open for some additional income? Like you just look like you look like somebody that I would love to work with if you keep your options open, right? So, and it could be that depending on like what your relationship is with somebody, maybe you're more comfortable with just kind of, doing connections or whatnot. I always like to compliment first and kind of go through their page and look. And I'll do a specific training on that where I show people kind of, I'll do a specific training of that where I kind of go live with that, because I think that could help a lot of people. Yeah, it's about getting in the box. Birthdays, yes, birthdays are perfect. When you have that little thing on people's birthdays, every single birthday, happy birthday, how are you? And don't do it on their page. Do it in their inbox. Do it in the inbox, because the inbox has you in the inbox. How are you? Did you do anything fun? And it's connections. And it's not about, when I was thinking about Isagenix too, when it started, I didn't want to to get people. Don't feel like you're trying to get people, right? You're not trying to get anybody. We are trying to build a community. You're looking for like-minded people who have some same visions as you and a mission of you to put great nutrition in their body so that it can just be another person that you're blessing. You don't know, they might be praying for that. And then 2, you're looking to build a community of people who are looking to lift people up and be a part of something greater than ourselves. And when you're going at it like that, it's not about like getting, it's about really just every single time you send that message and, you know, getting intentional with reaching out to somebody. It can be a really beautiful thing, or it can feel like, oh, I don't want to be reaching out. It's not about getting people. It's about making friends. And just even take Isagenix out of it, but go ahead and state your intention. Because that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to state your intention. Inbox, yes, messenger. Messenger is what I mean by inbox. Yeah. So, all right, guys. We are 10 after our 9:30, but great questions. So we will be back here Sunday night. And I think I read it in The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind that your income will only grow to the extent that we grow ourselves. And so let's grow ourselves. Let's do a little bit more to get uncomfortable every single day, right? If we're doing the same thing today that we did a week ago or that we did 2 weeks ago, and we're not where we want to be, we got to change it, right? We got to do something different. We got to go stretch a little bit. So I'm committed to, to stretching myself. I had found myself in a management mode for a while with team working, lacking up myself on some of the things that got me to where I had gotten, and even staying consistent for a while in my income of where I was. And so, I'm definitely committed, and I love these groups and calls because it definitely stretches us, to stretch again. So, but we will be back. Casey Fluff is grateful for my leadership. I don't know who is on Casey Fluff, but thank you. Chris, there you go. So, all right, guys, and you can do this from anywhere around the world. I think, Liz, are you in Washington right now or still in Bogota or somewhere down in South America? Wait, where are you right now?
I'm back in Bogota.
Back in Bogota. There is something going on in Bogota. I don't know. I think I tagged you in something going on about Bogota.
There was something going on today, but I just came back today.
Gotcha.
I just had an earthquake too.
Gotcha.
So that was fun.
To you guys, if you guys Spanish speaking population, like we have an awesome Spanish group that Cindy Vasquez has just been the heart of and doing so much for. Anybody that we know that speaks Spanish, we're really looking to get some momentum in there and it revved up too. So anybody that knows anybody that speaks Spanish, be it if it's in any of the countries that we're in, whatnot, it's just Cindy has done a great job with that, and that product page and business page are really amping up. But you guys, the product page, it's super easy to add value and add content and add people. So let's, all the other skill set. But we're definitely going to have I'm going to do some live interaction where I have my Facebook up, connect, message, how I go in that inbox, and just connect, so we'll have some fun with that. So, all right, guys. Oh, hello. How are you? Always love seeing the sweet little face. How are you? Hi. Say hi, Will.
Hi.
Hi. All right, guys. Oh, see, there's a Y right there. There's a Y. Sweetness. All right. Oh, no, there's another Y. Daniel's coming home. All right. Lindsay, you look sexy. You got your face did. Yeah, he's like, yeah, she does. All right, well, we got to close this up now, y'all. All right, I'll post the recording. Bye, guys.